Good morning, dear students. In today's class, we are going to study the next topic, that is called decentralization. Okay, in the previous class, we have already studied about the delegation of authority, and this is another way of delegation of authority, or extended version of delegation of authority. When we in the topic we have studied the delegation of authority, means that some part of the job is handed over to the subordinates. That is called the delegation of authority. But here, this is not done in a systematic way in delegation of authority. Like if I am having some job, I am handing over this job to my subordinate. That is the only thing that we are doing in the delegation of authority. But in decentralization, we are giving, it is a systematically we change the or we give hand over the work to the subordinates. Okay, so the result of the systematic delegation of authority throughout the organization. So this is the decentralization comes into existence because of the systematic delegation of authority throughout the organization. Okay, so means that decentralization is done throughout the organization. Means that the top level manager, he is having some job. So the job that he is supposed to perform is handed over to different departmental heads. Okay, so this is handed over to different not only to particular member. Okay, so you see, like if like father in our school, if any work is to be done, father has to call all the teachers and distributing these duties to all the teachers. Okay, so every teachers. So delegation of authority is that he is only calling me and assigning me one job for doing that. But this one, decentralization, means that he is inviting every members and handing over the duty to themselves. So that that after that, and this is not only for one time, this is for permanently. Means that they are becoming the responsible of this becomes their duty. Okay, not for just for one time, but permanently they will have to do the job, or they will be the responsible persons for that. So means that it becomes the part of my duties. Okay, not just like for time being or just for one incident, but it is truly set as the duty of the subordinate. Okay, this will become part of the job of that. Okay, so that is called the decentralization. Means that we can say that the importance of the subordinates are increased. Okay, so let us discuss now. Let us discuss the definitions. There are many definitions given there, but the one of the important definition given is by the Henry Fayol. So you are familiar with the Henry Fayol. So this definition is made by Henry Fayol. So Henry Fayol says that everything that goes to increase the importance of the subordinate role is called the decentralization, and everything that goes which goes to decrease the role of subordinate of them is the centralization. See, for example, everything that goes to increase the role of the subordinate. Okay, when the role of the subordinate is increasing, that is called a decentralization, and when the role of the subordinate is decreasing, okay, or reducing, that is called the centralization. Sorry, do you understand? So everything that goes to increase the role of the subordinate is called the decentralization, and everything that goes to decrease or reduce the role of the subordinate is called the centralization. Means that all the decision making power is held by the top level manager. So that is called the centralization. But whereas the decision making power is given to the subordinates, more decision making power is given to the subordinates. So even the lower level managers having a lot amount of decision making power. So such kind of an organization is called as the decentralization. See, for example, like if you consider banks. Okay, like we can compare the school and the bank. Okay, so our school, if you consider like if our school is there, so we can say that this is a centralized one, because the major decisions, almost all the decisions are taken by the top level managers, like the principal and the manager. They will be making the decisions regarding the almost every activities of the school. But whereas if you consider like a State Bank of India, SBI, okay, So the State Bank of India has the superior authorities are there, and this is spread all throughout the country. Okay, even abroad. And there is like if the manager of this branch is can be considered as the lower level employee. Okay, so the general manager is there, zonal managers are there, divisional heads are there, so many managers are there, and we can say that the manager of a branch can be called as the lower level employee. So, but he has also having a lot of decision making power. Okay, so even though he is a lower level employee, he will have a lot amount of decision making power. Okay, so some decisions have to be taken by the supreme authority. They will be making the decision, but many decision making power is given to the even to the lower level employees or the manager. That is something whatever happening related to the branch, those decisions can be taken by the branch manager itself. Okay, so some amount of decision making power is given to them. Okay, so this is called the decentralization. When more power is given to the lower level authority, it is called as the decentralization. And when all the decision making power is held by the 100% of centralization is not possible, because if 100% of centralization is there, then there is no need of subordinates. Okay, so means that everything is done by the manager itself. Then there is no need of any subordinates. So decentralization is required, and 100% of decentralization is also not possible. If 100% of decentralization is there, then there is no need of a manager. Okay, so the decentralization is required, but how much degree of how much decentralization is required, that is the only question that we have to discuss. Okay, so decentralization is necessary in every organization, but how much amount of decentralization is required, that is what the question we have to discuss. So that will be depending on the size of the organization, the capability of the subordinates, the power of the manager. If the manager is capable of doing lot amount of activities, then he can consider like the centralized authority is possible, and he will be able to make the decisions. But if that person is not that much capable of taking all the decisions by himself, then he can hand over the duty to subordinates. Okay, so different departments are there, departmental heads are there, middle level managers are there, lower level managers are there. To those members he can hand over the duties. Okay, and then he can he can have a relaxed mood. So he does not need to always do all the decision making activities. Okay, so these are the meaning and definition of the decentralization. Now let us discuss the importance of decentralization. What are the importance? There are some features given there. You can just go through it. So you can just read it. And now let us discuss about the importance of the decentralization. Okay. So first one, develop initiatives amongst the subordinates. Okay. So first point is that develops initiative among the subordinates. See, like if duty, as I told you in delegation also we have studied this one. So almost similarly this one is there in decentralization also. When I am given more authority, when I am given more power, then my way of doing things also, I am having more responsibility, I am having more authority, and accountability is there. So I will be showing more initiative. Okay, so because it is going to be my work. Otherwise, the work is of the manager, and I am just helping him. So if the work is successful or a failure, it depends on the manager. I am not going to be worried about that. Okay, so this is the. But when the work will come into my hand, okay, so now this becomes, if the decentralization is done, then it becomes my work. And when my work is there, then I will use my own efficiency, my own effectiveness more, and I will work hard, and I will use my full energy and everything I will dedicate fully myself for the success of the organization. So I will use full of my initiative for making this one more successful, because it becomes my duty. Earlier it was the duty of, if a decentralized way is there, then this is the decision is made by the manager. and I just have to follow it. So if the decision goes success or failure, it is not going to depend on me. But now the decision making power is given to me, so I have to make the decision and I have to show it that the decision which I have made is successful. Okay, so now it becomes my responsibility to make it successful. Do you understand? So because it is my decision, otherwise it is the decision of the manager. Okay, so then I will work hard to show that the work is to be made successful. Okay, then second point is called the develops managerial power for managerial talent for the future. Okay, so if you see, for example, if middle level manager is given more authority, more power of decision making is given to the middle level manager. So what happens by doing this work again and again? So he is getting a lot amount of experience in decision making. If the manager is making all the decisions, then he is not going to know how much effort are required, how to make all the decision making activities are not going to be known by the middle level managers. But when the authority is given to him, when the authority is decentralized, then he will be getting more opportunities to make decisions, and by taking more decisions, he will become more talented, more capable. And in the future, if the general manager is getting retired, so these members of these divisional heads are there, they will be capable of almost all of them will be capable of handling the activities of the superior officers, because they have already experience of doing these kinds of decision making power. So they will, in the future, they will become so more powerful. If lower level manager is there, so they are also more talented. And if we have to add one more department, and this person can be appointed as a departmental head, can be promoted to the higher. Or if a departmental head is leaving the company, and if there is a vacancy of the departmental heads, the lower level manager can be promoted to the higher level, because he has already experienced with the decision making. Do you understand? So this is another benefit of that. Then the third importance is called quick decision making. Okay, so the decision making can be done with the very much. We can make the decisions very fast. Okay, so a lot amount of decisions can be made, and the decision making can be done very fast. There is no need of time. It is not necessary, because earlier, if the authority is not given to the subordinates for making the decisions, then he has to take permission from the superior officer for each and everything, and he has to go and ask permission and get permission. So the manager may be busy there, and he has to do all the efforts. So then it will take a lot amount of time. But when the authority is given to the subordinates, when the authority is decentralized, then he will have the authority to take decisions. So there is no need of asking with the superior officer for, or asking permission and granting permission, and all is not required, because he has the authority to make the decision. Then decision making can be done in easily, very fast. And as well as that, the decisions will be more effective also. Better decisions can be there, because if all the decisions are made by the top level manager itself, then he will not have sufficient time to think about these things and make a proper decision. But when the decision making power is given to the subordinates, then he does not have to think about a lot amount of things. He has to consider only about his own department, and he will have better idea about what is going to happen in the his own department. He knows exactly what is their actual situation of the department there. So he will be able to make a better decisions. Quick decision making is possible, as well as better decision making is also possible. Okay. Then next importance is the relief to the top level management. Okay, so it is a kind of relief to the top management, because if decentralization is not done, every decisions are to be made. Almost all the decisions are to be made by the top level managers. And when the decentralization is done, so that much, so like some production related activities given to the production department, purchase level activities are given to the purchase department, financial level activities are given to the financial department. So almost all the activities are handed over to the subordinates. So there is a lot amount of relief. That much tension is not necessary to be taken by the top level manager. So the top level manager has to take only the important decisions. Okay, very major decisions. Okay, and remaining decision making power is given to the subordinates. So then they will have lot amount of pressure will not be there. Okay, because they have to handle only the major decisions. So they will have sufficient time to think about it, and they can make the proper decisions. Okay, so they will have a lot amount of relief. Then next one, facilitates growth. Okay, so the growth is possible. So as I told you that the decision making power is given to the subordinates, so they will be working hard and they will be trying to grow. Okay, so they will get more opportunities to grow, and when they are getting more opportunities to grow, they will use their full energy, they will use their full talent for the development of the organization, and so normally this will lead to the growth of the organization. The employees will be growing, and they will be making, and even the lower level employees will be trying to work hard because they have got more decision making power, and these decisions are made by themselves, so they will be trying to make these decisions successful by doing more efforts, extra efforts they will be doing, and such a way the organization also will be going to be successful. So the entire organization has to be grow when more decision making power is given to the lower level managers. The next point that we have to study is called the better control. Okay, next importance of decentralization is that it gives better control. Okay, so this also, as I told you, like when top level manager is making the decision, okay, then we consider that this is a decision made by the top level manager and we have nothing to do with this. So then they may not be ready to cooperate with the top level managers. So all the top level managers are making decisions and this is not going to affect our department. Okay, so they are not ready to cooperate with the managers. But what happens if the authority is given to the subordinates, then this will become our own responsibility. So then we will be more disciplined. You understand? So we will be ready to cooperate each other. We will be trying to work hard, and we will be busy with doing our own activities, and we don't have time to spend for simply sitting and fighting against the manager or saying something against the manager. For all these type of things, we don't have time because we are having lot amount of work to do. So there is a proper like a better control is possible. Okay, as I told you, like if the work of the controlling of the class is given to the naughtiest student in the class. Okay, so if if it is given to the so then quite normally the better control is possible because he knows exactly. If the teacher may not know who all are the naughty ones in the class, but the naughtiest student in the class will exactly know that who all are the most naughty students, isn't it? So then he will be able to control them in a better way. If I am a class, if the subject class teacher is trying to control all the activities, then it may not be possible. But some authorities are given to the class leaders, subject teachers, and some other authorities are given to the students. See, like a Hindi talking, so that will be handed over to one student, and he will be controlling all the members, or he will be finding out those who are talking Hindi, and others those who are like coming late or going out of the class in between. So all these activities are given to one another member, so he will be handling the activities of that, and another person will be controlling the discipline. So different people are appointed for doing this type of jobs. Then what will happen? There will be better coordination. You understand? So better control is possible because the student itself is, like if a teacher is telling a student to be quiet, then you may feel not to be quiet there. So it means that it is said by the teacher and you don't like to follow the teacher, so you may not. But when the student itself is telling, when your own companion is telling, sometimes you may feel more happy to listen to that person if he is your own friend or your own classmate. So this is quite possible. So these are the importance of the decentralization. And in your book there is a topic given about like the comparison between delegation of authority and decentralization. You can just go through it and you can understand there are some similarities are there as well as some differences are there. Okay, so the delegation of authority is done for the only for one particular job and one particular. This is made. It is a temporary arrangement made between the manager and the subordinate. But whereas the decentralization is the entire organization is considered and the entire organization setup it is the affected. So this will be a very systematic way of delegation of authority. Okay, so that is all about it, and thank you so much.